Hi all. So today we are going to solve this question, detect cycle in 2D grid. So in the question you are given a 2D array of characters grid of size m cross n, and you need to find if there exists any cycle consisting of same value in grid. Same value as in the same character you should find the cycle with. A cycle is a path of length 4 or more in the grid that starts and ends at the same cell. From a given cell you can move to one of the cells adjacent to it in one of the four directions, up, down, left or right, if it has the same value of the current cell. Also, you cannot move to the cell that you visited in your last move. So like if you started from A and you go to B, you cannot move back to A. That's what this line is saying. Return true if any cycle exists of the same value in the grid, otherwise return a false. So if you see the second example, we can have this kind of cycle also. Like it should, it is not like it must be a straight square or rectangle. It could be of any shape, but it should start or end with the same cell, and you can only move to the other cell if it has the same value of the character. So I have taken a new example here so that I will just try to identify one issue, like one observation. So in here we have three characters A, B, and C, and if you see only this character C is making a cycle. So the minimum length of the cycle is 4, and it could be more than that as also, but yeah, the minimum should be 4. So if you start from A, you can move to any of the direction like this one and or this one, right or down one. So what we can do here to optimize the code and avoid repetition, we can take a boolean visited 2D array of same m cross n. So if this is m cross n, this will also be m cross n, and we'll try to explore all the cell and avoid if we have already visited a cell. So this initial value would be false for this entire row and cells present in this 2D array, and we'll start from this position. We'll mark it as true, and we'll see if the next we can move to the right cell or not. If we can move, then mark it as true, and if we can move downward as well, we can mark it as true. And from this cell again we will see if we can move to the right one also or not, right? So if it is we can move, then we will mark it again as true here. Similarly, at the end we will have something like this: true, true, true. Here we are not seeing this, then this DFS will report return, and in the down we will explode also again this, and see it all marked as true, and the rest of the cell would be false. And we'll continue to iterate over each cell, and only continue if the cell value is false. Then this is unvisited cell, and from there we will again explore. So for cell B, we will try to explore. So here we will mark it as true, and then we'll just see check we can move down, up, left or not. Usually we can just check by moving right or down, but at any cell we would have again to make a cycle, we would have to move left or up also, right? So we will check on all direction where we can move, and if we can move on the right, then true, 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 true. But again, this is not a cycle, right? So it will ultimately result in overall false to our main function, because it is not making any cycle and we have not seen any visited cell again. So in this, uh, when we start from here, we would only move to the cell which has the same character. So we see, so if there is different character, we would not go there, right? And if we see, uh, we'll mark this area as true. So let me mark it as true, and then again true, and then again true here, then again true. And we see now we can visit this cell again, but this one is again also visited, right? So we would return our result as true. We don't need to explore this cell. As soon as we see any of the cycle, we directly return to true. So yeah, this is a fairly simple DFS question, and I'll just walk you through the code now. So in the code, you would see I've defined some of the direction, right, up, left, down, like what possible values are as string constant, created one visited 2D array, and only exploring a cell when it is not visited. If it is not visited, then we are marking first the cell as true, and then checking all the neighbors, exploring all the neighbors. And if any of the neighbor is returning me true, then there is a cycle, and we will return true from there only. And in the DFS function here, basically what we are seeing is if at the current cell, if it is out of bound or the character is different, then we can directly return false. We don't need to explore further, right? If we can, we see the visited cell. So it means that the cell was having the same value but was already visited. So it means there was a cycle, right? This is the base condition and it is returning, identifying that there is a cycle. If it is false, then the cell had the same value because otherwise you would have returned false here. So we will mark it as true and then we'll try to explore all the positions. So from right, from where we can go. So if we are coming from right, then we can go to up, down, right. We can continue going to right or go to up or down. We cannot go to left because we cannot move to the cell that you have visited in your last move, right? So this thing we are achieving here by not exploring the left move. Again, for left, we can only go to left, keep going left or up or down. We cannot go to right if we are coming from left. So that's how we are changing the direction also for the new stack call. And this would return if any of the direction we find a cycle, then that would return true. And that's what we are returning. So this is the code, fairly simple. I hope like you liked the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.